class, Professor Dockeray here. This video is intended to walk you through the steps you'll need to complete part 1 of the academic blueprint assignment. This is by far the easier of the two parts. Part 1 is pretty straightforward. When you submit this assignment, you should be submitting 2 documents. First is going to be the actual assignment, which I have on the screen now. And second will be your degree audit. I will show you this once we get there. So as you read through the instructions, you'll see that in order to complete the first section or the questions down below, you are going to log into Atlas and click on the Life Map tab. Once you do that, you'll click Take Me to My Education Plan, and you'll find your degree checklist, also known as your degree audit. So I'm already logged into Atlas as a fictional student. I'm going to go to Life Map on the left side of the page and look for My Education Plan and click the red button that says Take Me to My Education Plan. Again, once this page loads, you'll see your degree checklist. Some of the questions you need to answer that are also on this page. You'll see the first question, what degree is listed. You'll see what major is listed and what your meta major is. So here at Valencia College, we don't exactly have majors, but we have meta majors. So those would be categories that your desired major fits into that help you take the right classes when it's time to do a bachelor's degree. If you're currently working on an associate in science degree, you might have something a little different. And if you're currently enrolled in a 4-year bachelor's degree at Valencia, you might have something that looks a little bit different. But regardless, you should at the very least have your meta major, and then you can just tell me what your major is. The last question asks if you need to change your major or meta major. So if you look at the degree audit and what's listed as your meta major is not what you either want to do or think you've been doing, that's really important to change and speak with an advisor about. Because again, the information here in this degree audit that we're about to look through is going to be based on, in this example, someone earning an associate in arts degree that is focused on business majors for when you transfer to a 4-year college. So if you since changed your mind and you want to pursue an art degree, this is not going to be accurate for you. So you'll want to get that taken care of through this assignment. So as I scroll through, you can see a few things. It shows you your degree progress and your overall GPA. As we go down, it is broken up into sections related to kind of the different requirements of your degree. So for your complete degree, so that's 69% completion, the other 31% that you haven't completed yet, you'll see check marks here. So this student hasn't met the civic literacy requirement, they haven't met the residency requirement, and they haven't met all of their major requirements. If you see this blue, that usually means that you're in progress of completing it. So for example, maybe you're registered for classes in the summer semester. If you see blue, that means at the end of the summer semester, you should be completed with that requirement. And actually, as we scroll down, we can see that the major is listed as general studies. That is what the vast majority of you will have as your major. So as we scroll down, we can see here's the section for majoring in general studies. It tells you how many credits you need, how many credits you've already earned, and then also some of the requirements that you haven't met yet. These might be a little vague at the top of the degree audit, but you'll see as we scroll through that it's a little more clear. So we can see that communications is not complete. However, some of the requirements have been met. Freshman Composition 1 for the student is coming, but they haven't completed Freshman Composition 2. As we go to humanities, we can see that this is largely untouched, but it's very nice in telling you exactly what your options are. So a lot of times we talk about core versus institutional courses. Instead of having to research and figure out what that is, it very kindly tells you exactly what to do. And you'll see that that continues. Then we'll go into mathematics, science, and social sciences. So those are the general classes that most students pursuing a general studies degree will have to complete. In addition to the specific classes that are spelled out for you, you'll also have, depending on your degree pathway, a box of general education electives that you need to complete. These are classes that you're free to take, really whatever you want. So these would be any classes that don't fit in to the space above. If you're smart, and I'll show you in part 2, there are ways that you can maximize your use of electives to try to get ahead once you move on to a bachelor's degree. You can see that the student also has some courses that either the grade was too low to fit, or for some reason those classes didn't count towards the degree. As you go down, you'll also see notes from your advisor, which is awesome because it will help you keep track of things you might have talked about before. If you're a student who has been at the college a long time, or perhaps started and then maybe took a break for a while, you could see that it's still got those notes as well. At the bottom, you'll see is the little legend that shows you what all the different marks mean. Now, if you're looking at your degree audit and saying, ooh, I don't see that, for some dual enrollment students, it may show up differently. So if your degree audit is not looking correct, or perhaps is not even showing, you'll notice at the top, well, almost at the top, just below your kind of general information, you'll see there's a link that says what if. If we click that, it creates the what if analysis. So this allows you to kind of make a speculative degree audit. So as a dual enrollment student, you're not considered enrolled in the college just yet. So you may not have a degree pathway since you're technically just taking classes. If you look at your degree audit and you have the wrong major or meta major listed, this is another way that you can get more accurate information. So you can look at what you are registered as. Degree pathways is usually the easiest thing to do. And then you can look through all of the majors listed. So let's say the student's in business right now. Maybe they decide it's not for them. So then from here, they want to focus on, I don't know, let's just pick something random. How about psychology? So we can include the classes you're registered for, your in-progress classes, and click process. And it will look at the courses you've already taken and how those fulfill your requirements needed. So you could see, for example, I've earned 41 credits out of the 60 that are required under this major. And again, it's going to tell me exactly what courses I still need to take. So that is part 1 of blueprint number 1. So you'll see that there is slightly different information here about finding your degree audit. You can still get it through this way. Traditionally, we've done it a little bit differently, but that has changed literally about 2 weeks ago. So the assignment is a little out of date. This method may still work, so you can use it that way. To answer question number 5 about your catalog term, you're going to go back to your degree checklist under academic, and in the section that discusses general studies, you're going to look here where it says catalog year, and that's your answer for that, 22 to 23. Your catalog year indicates usually what year you started at Valencia College and what year's requirements you're using. So every year, well, not quite, but every so often, the college will slightly change the requirements needed to graduate. This helps ensure that, if you've been coming to the college part-time since 2018, you will still be completing under the 2018 requirements. There are some exceptions to that. If you make a change of your meta major or your field of study, you will automatically go to the current requirements for that degree. So if you see a more updated catalog year and you think, well, gee, I've been here longer than that, that probably means that you have changed your area of study at some point. So the next part of the assignment focuses on college and university exploration. You're going to look at 2 different colleges or universities that you might want to transfer to. If Valencia is your last stop, once you get your associate's degree, you're good to go. What I want you to do here is use Valencia as one of the columns, and then choose another college you considered going to instead of Valencia. So maybe you had hoped to go to UCF, but you thought it might help a little bit to go to Valencia first, and then you picked an associate in science degree, which usually ends at Valencia. You wouldn't necessarily go to get a bachelor's degree. That could be a choice. Or maybe you're here at Valencia doing the nursing program, but you also looked into taking a quick nursing program at a different institute or community college. You'll fill out that information, one college in each column, and then for each bit of information, you'll pick who has the advantage. So based on the location, let's say you live in Poinciana, if choice 1 is Valencia College and choice 2 is Seminole State College, which one is closer or better for you when it comes to the location? That's what you're going to fill out. And you'll see that there are 2 pages of questions. Now you may be asking yourself, how do I know things like the tuition at these different colleges and universities? You'll see back in the directions that there is a website linked here to help you. So as we go to look at this site, I'm just going to mention, sorry, I got lost in my tabs there. If you do plan to pursue a bachelor's degree and transfer to a different university to finish that, you would put 2 possible bachelor's degree choices in these columns. So choice number 1 might be UCF, and choice number 2 might be University of Florida, or, really any college or university around the world. So backtracking again, going back to College Navigator, you can find a college this way if maybe you don't exactly know where you might want to go to college. But in this case, I'm going to put University of Central Florida and search. Oh my goodness. And you'll find it in the search results here. And you'll see that it has answers to most, if not all, of the questions listed. So we can see what the campus setting is. We can see what the student population is, what the student to faculty ratio is. That would be the general average of how many students there are for each professor. That doesn't mean that every single class you have is going to have 30 students in it. That number is usually most accurate to those beginning classes, which you're now taking at Valencia. So it's very possible you may never have a class that large, but that's the average. So as you go through the categories here, these will help you answer all of the other questions. So if I click tuition, it's going to explain to me what the tuition would be. So I can see, let's say I'm an in-state student. I'm here in Florida. I'll follow all the way to the right, and that's my in-state tuition for the whole year. If I'm going to live on campus, it shows me about what those values would be. And you'll see at the bottom, your total for books, housing, tuition. If you're on campus and living in state, it's going to be around $24,000. If you're living with your family, you save on those room and board costs, so that's really omitted there for you. And then if you choose to go to a college that's out of state, so let's pretend instead of UCF, we're looking at, I don't know, University of Georgia, you would be looking at the out-of-state costs and what those might be. You can also do the multi-year tuition calculator. This helps you figure out what, say, 2 full years would cost, though you can probably do the math. So you can keep scrolling through here and finding the different information required. If you can't find information here, it tends to have more of the academic information and less information about student life. So things like clubs or things like that. So if we look at like some of the student populations and demographics, you may have to go to the college or university's website and look for categories like student life or something like that in order to answer those questions. That's it for this section. So you can see Blueprint 1 isn't too difficult, but it has a few different moving parts. So again, at the end of the assignment, when you're ready to submit, you're going to submit the actual blueprint document that you filled out. And then you're also going to submit your degree audit. When it comes time to submit this, you'll notice up at the very top, it has a button to create a PDF of the document. So if you click the print button and then click open PDF, it will give you a very nice document that you could print, or in this case, attach to the assignment and submit. And from the PDF, you'll just download it and save it and attach it. Okay? That's about it for part 1. As always, if you have any questions, let me know.